Okay, hello. So today we have Seagull by Ride. Somebody recently commented that I've never reacted to this and they said I'm missing out. So I was intrigued by that and I wanted to come back to Ride. So this seems like such a perfect situation. This is the first track off of their big influential debut album, Nowhere. And, I guess it introduces you to the band here. And of course I have been introduced to the band, but never to this one. So let's get into it, talk about it after 6 minutes, 9 seconds. Strap in. Here we go. Seagull. Oh goodness. Some shoegaze. All right, there it is. Ride and Seagull, as I put a burp away. Oh my God. What do I say after that? The song was 6 minutes long. It did not feel like 6 minutes long. When I looked at the video, I was like, oh my God, it's almost over. I had to give the video a like. And this is, I probably said it before because I'm dumb as hell and, you know, I say these kind of things, but, Ride, or they're aptly named, because every time I listen to them, it's a freaking ride, man. It's a ride, man. I'm talking like I'm in the 60s because this gives you 60s vibes. I don't know where to start. There's so many different things I want to say. So I apologize if this all comes out as gibberish, but from what I was reading, Andy Bell, I do believe he said this, he came up with this guitar riff, he came up with this song anyway, because he was trying to learn a Beatles song. And that fits very well. The Beatles are from the 60s. Hello. The song has a very 60s kind of inspired feel too. And so just to say that, where he was kind of trying to learn that song, and he changed it up a bit, and then that's how Seagull came to be. But also, you think of the Beatles, and of course the Beatles influenced everybody, god dang. But I think of a band like the Kinks as well, and I only think of the Kinks because of course, this is shoegaze. I'm already all over the place, but of course, this is shoegaze. Shoegaze always has the distorted guitar, that wall of sound feedback from the guitar work as well, which the song had in spades. There's the light vocals, which both Mark and Andy were doing here. Having them both sing together is just orgasmic. I apologize, but it's orgasmic. And yeah, so all the great shoegaze elements that made the song ethereal, but also it had that punch. Holy crap, did it ever have the punch? But of course, again, shoegaze can have that punch with that guitar distortion and how big it is, but it had that punch in that way that reminded me again of like the Kinks. You know, the Kinks could be kind of soft or whatever, or in a song like Waterloo Sunset or what have you, or they could go hard in another song like All Day and All the Night, whatever. But anyway, so I just think of a 60s band like that. But of course, the Kinks would go on to, have more success after the 60s too. But so they came to mind, and especially at the end there when the song was finishing off, and this only comes to mind now because it just happened, and how it got quicker and quicker and bashing and da 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 da. I don't know what song I'm thinking of, if it's even from the 60s or not, but there's a song that ends like that. I'm sure there's a lot of songs that end like that, but I was thinking, what the fuck, what does that remind me of? I don't know, but I had to mention that anyway, even though the song isn't coming to mind. But again, so many different things of familiarity, if that's a word, that were coming to my big fat head the whole way through, and I was in awe. I mean, my God, and how the way it starts off too. And like I said off the top, this is the first track off the big album, and of course on the album there. Some songs weren't as heavy as this, I would say, if I'm remembering correctly, but some were, of course. But I just love how it punches you in the gut. The way they started off, how the cymbal crashes right off the get-go too, from the drum work there from Laws. I was going to say Lol Tolhurst. That's a completely different person from a completely different band. But now I got to remember now, it's been too long since I last reacted to the band. Laws Colbert, either way, Colbert, I do believe. But Laws was on the drums there and how he started things off. And I just love... You can feel his swagger on the drums. You can feel how he's hitting that snare, how he's hitting his kit. I don't know. There's just a feeling. I was gonna say watching him. I wasn't watching him, but just the way that he was doing this, and it was almost like a cyclical way that he was doing the drum, because between the drum work and the guitar and the bass work, that was kind of cyclical. It was kind of a circular thing. Like it was the same thing over and over in a way. But at the same point, that bass really drove the song. It was a melodic, infectious bass line the whole way through. And I thought that Laws was working very well with, I believe Steve was on the bass here. In the personnel, it just says their names, doesn't say what they're on. But if I remember correctly, Steve was on bass. And again, the Laws and Steve were working very well together. And like I always say, a bassist and a drummer have to work well together. These two were here. And again, they just created that infectious rhythm. And of course, the guitar work here from Andy as well, and Mark there too. Was great as well and added to the rhythm section. But my God, just that bang and the da 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 da, again, bashing. I can't get over it. I don't even know what my point was really, but either way, the booming sound there between Laws and Steve was just perfect, and added to the whole feel here. It added to the whole feel of there were so many elements. Again, you go back to those 60s vibes. and those harmonies between Mark and Andy. And again, I was talking about the Beach Boys, have some of my favorite harmonies of all time. The Mamas and the Papas come to mind again with the harmonies of that era. The Beatles, of course, as well. I mean, there's so many different bands that have great harmonies, but in here too, that comes to mind because these harmonies remind you of those days as well between Mark and Andy, if I haven't said that enough now. But it's just, I don't know, their voices just work so well on this. Their voices are both pretty light, it feels like, as well, and so ethereal too. I mean, not only is the whole song and the guitar work ethereal, but the voices are as well angelic, heavenly voices, I gotta say, and how soft they are. And like I mentioned, just those soft voices over top of this bashing, punchy, aggressive, but also ambient noise. Noise in a good way. It just works out so well. And anyway, again, you could see it on my face. I was just having a lot of fun banging my head. This is a song you can almost bang your head to, a heavy metal listener might like, I guess, but it's also a song that a person that likes softer music might like too. And it's kind of the best of both worlds in that way. Although it is a lot, I would say, more on the heavier, punchier side. Of course, there is still that quintessential Ride feeling to it, where it's a little bit light, but anyway, they were light and a bit dark here too, and I was just having such a good time listening. And I wanted to also mention there on the guitar, it sounds dumb to say, but because I've listened to so many bands, and of course there are great guitarists all over the place, but listening to this, it's like sometimes I forget what a guitar can do, and when I come to a shoegaze band and what the sound that a shoegaze guitarist, whatever you want, Andy here anyway, can get out of a guitar is nuts to me. Like just how waning he can make it, how there's a word that I wanted to say when I was listening, circular, I guess you would say, he can make it, how kind of psychedelic he would make it as well, and it's just, it feels like it's so powerful. But again, it's only just one or two guitars, and it's just, I don't know, I just love how powerful they can make the sound. And anyway, so when I listen to a band like this, I'm just reminded of that. I'm just like, oh my God, I forgot a guitar could do this. And yeah, anyway, I know it's not Eddie Van Halen or what have you, or whatever the hell, whoever your favorite guitarist is of all time, Brian May, whatever you want to say. But this was just perfect. And I just love how loud they were. But at the same time, how soft it could be, especially with the voices, with the vocal work here. So anyway, yeah, so there you go there. How melodic everything was, all those things you could say. But it was fun. It was fun to listen to. I got to say, it was a fun ride, and hopefully you could tell throughout the whole thing that I was thoroughly enjoying it. And I was listening to some of the lyrics at different points too. Although the lyrics, like in a lot of, I guess you would say, shoegaze songs, maybe you can't understand all the lyrics or hear all of the lyrics because the sound is just such a wall. But I could understand some of them, and obviously we're talking about a relationship here that's gone. I would say maybe somebody's first relationship, and now it's over. And also, I want to mention this too, now that it's come back into my head. What the fuck, the band, the Stone Roses also came to mind. You talk about the 60s, but also a band just before that released their debut in 89, I do believe, the Stone Roses, who would obviously influence so many people into the 90s. A lot of Brit bands, a lot of the bands in the Britpop era were influenced by the Stone Roses, obviously. And that came to mind here too, just from that airy kind of feel. I don't know, it just really reminded me of the Stone Roses, those boys. And anyway, so I could feel their influence on the song too. And anyway, so I just wanted to mention that because I almost forgot. But like I was saying, this is a breakup song really, and how this guy is going to soar better without the other person. Something like McAlmont and Butler's Yes comes to mind too. Yes, I do feel better now that you're off of me, baby. Anyway, let's get into these lyrics now. What the hell? So my eyes are sore, my body weak. We're not starting off on a good foot. My throat is dry, I cannot speak. Quite rhyming. My words are dead. And it's just like, my words are dead. It's like, well, Jesus Christ. But of course, he's not doing very well. His words are dead. His words don't mean anything. That comes to mind as well. His throat's dry. Can't speak. I mean, he's not in a good situation. Then we have the first refrain here. Falling like feathers to the floor. Falling like feathers to the floor. And again, you think about feathers. You think about a seagull. A seagull has feathers. And he's falling to the floor maybe like a seagull would with these feathers anyway. He's obviously in a bad state of mind. He seems depressed. I mean, he seems lonely, isolated. These all come to mind. Then the second verse, you gave me things I'd never seen. You made my life a waking dream, but we are dead. And I was like, we are dead. I just love the the use of that, the use of the word dead, not only in the way, it's not really talking about how this person really is dead or the other person in the relationship is dead, but the relationship is dead. Obviously, that's gone. And, but how the song goes from being a bit sad and tragic in the opening lyrics, really, and how it kind of moves up to more hopeful lyrics by the end of it. I just really enjoyed that ride of it. And, anyway, he was with this person. Everything seemed to be great. It was all lovely, but, now it's over. And now this relationship is obviously dead. Then we have the second refrain. Falling like ashes to the floor, falling like ashes to the floor. A lot of comparisons going on here between what he feels like and falling to the floor. Then we have the bridge, definitions, confined thoughts. And this whole bridge is so philosophical, I would say. Definitions define or confined thoughts, they are a myth. Words are clumsy, language doesn't fit, but we know there's no limit with thought. We know there's no limits. And again, just going beyond your limits, thinking outside the box, that kind of thing comes to mind. Again, definitions confine your thoughts. It's all a myth. You don't have to adhere to these rules. I mean, that really comes to mind, but they were spitting in that bridge. Holy moly. Then we have the third verse. And this is where things rise up, and he kind of seems to be rising from the ashes like a phoenix. Now it's your turn to see me rise. You burn my wings, but watch me fly above your head. Above your head, that's very important too. I'm going to fly above your head. I'm going to go beyond you. You're here, I'm up here, that kind of a thing. Again, the seagull comparison, I got to say it again because that's what the title is. And you burn my wings, and I'm a seagull, but I'm going to fly above your head. You idiot, you know? Anyway, I could say worse things, but anyway, he doesn't like this person, what they did to him. And then the third refrain, and that's it. I forgot, there's not really many lyrics here for a song that's 6 minutes long, but it's just a lot of music. It's just a lot of rocking. Looking down, I see you far below. Looking up, you see my spirit glow. And that's the best thing. And that would be the best experience, the best feeling that this person would have, for this person that did him wrong, I guess, in this context anyway, from his side. Seeing this person, seeing him fly, seeing him soar, seeing him succeed. And this other person is not. It seems like they're, again, way down on the totem pole. And, so yeah, just to see this guy's spirit glow and his ex's eyes, it's just, what a moment that would be for him. So anyway, I just love how it ends off on a positive note. And, again, as it didn't really start on a positive note, but, it progressively got, sweeter and nicer or whatever. And yeah, so did the song, of course, too, with the music here and how it started off. Like I said, with those symbol, that kind of chiming cymbals that were happening off the top. And, then they all really got into it. And just that distorted guitar work that I mentioned again reminds me of something Ray Davies would do, or Dave Davies would do. I can't remember. Either way, the Kinks would do. And yeah, so I just had to bring them into it again with that distortion and how there's so many different guitar shifts in here too. And just, it was just such a, it was a lot coming to the ears for the first time ever listening to it. I mean, holy frig. So anyway, there you go there. Like I said, somebody commented about this song and I said, well, let me go back to Ride. I have enjoyed Ride and I enjoyed this one too. It's a relatable track lyrically and it's nice listening to a positive kind of thing. So anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for liking, subscribing, commenting, all those different things. I really appreciate all the support. I apologize about this song or this video being 19 minutes long, but there you go there. And what can you do? But thanks for everything. I'll talk to you guys again soon.